Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. Hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're gonna be speaking about Keyshawn Davis missing weight momentarily, along with Brian Newman Jr. We're gonna be getting into our final predictions for tomorrow night between Nair Albright versus Keyshawn Davis, Brian Norman Jr. versus Wagner. You know what I mean? Then we're going to get into some open boxing topics, man. But before we get into all of that, y'all could please hit the like button on the way in. That'd be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,500 mark, looking to crack that 3,600 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Shout out to everybody that's in here thus far, man. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the algorithm on the up so that people know that Mazuma TV is live. Thank you very much. I hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to everybody that's in the comment section already. Please forgive how the way I look. I am still very much under the weather, but we're making it do what it do regardless, man. The work doesn't stop. You feel what I'm saying? Man, been on that Dayquil heavy. You know what I mean? I just hit the Dayquil now in a few hours. You know what I mean? I'm probably not even gonna need the NyQuil, but yeah, man. I got fucked over big time, man. One of them higher ups had came over to my job. He was sick and he got the whole motherfucking workplace sick, man. So we gonna get through it. We gonna get through it, man. You feel what I'm saying? But shout out to my boy Justin Jackson in the building. He said, "Damn, Karen. Yeah, I heard about Karen, man. I heard Patty Donovan whooped his ass. Listen, man, that's what come with the game. You feel me? You know, I didn't really know too much about Patty Donovan or anything like that. But from what I heard, he was dominated. Who said DQ? Did I say that? I said that? Wow, that's a crazy pause. I meant to say NyQuil. Hey yo, what the fuck? No, I did not mean to say that. He said end the live. Hey yo, that's a super bad joke. Yo, my fault. Yo, y'all know I don't be, y'all know I don't be talking like that, man. Come on. That was crazy. But anyways, man, we're gonna keep this show on the road. Fuck what the coffee talking about. But yeah, I heard Karen got dominated, man. I heard Patty Donovan put the beats by Dre on him. I don't know. I didn't get to watch the fight. I was trying to keep up with it, but you know what I mean? I was helping putting the gym together, man. Like I said, tomorrow afternoon, if you are in or around the Philadelphia area, boxing under the skylight 15, the Brother Nazim Commemorative Cup. We will be having an amateur show at Pivot Boxing Academy, 2807 North 6th Street, Philadelphia, PA 19133. We should be having about between 18 to 20, amateur bouts. You know what I mean? From a lot of talented fighters from in or around the tri-state area. You know what I mean? We got Hashim Hassan, who's been, who started off as a member of the channel, from the UK, is going to be having his first fight in the States, man. We're really excited to see how the way he performs before he turns pro out there, over the pond. You know what I mean? We got Derek, the Maestro Moore, who's going to be fighting, and that will be his last amateur fight before he turns pro as well. We got a lot of good things, man. We got a lot of good talent coming up in that building, tomorrow night. And our shows always sell out, fortunately. And if you guys want to, take part in a historic moment, they said Sean Porter supposedly is supposed to be in the building. You know what I mean? So last time we brought out the Heenies, now this time we're bringing out Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? If you're not able to come through and see the fights, we will be streaming the fight live on Pivot Boxing Network. Follow Pivot Boxing Network. Subscribe to Pivot Boxing Network. And you know what I mean? If y'all in the comments or whatever, let it be known where y'all from, man. We're gonna have English commentary, we're gonna have Spanish commentary. You know what I'm saying? I know the UK, the UK people gonna be in the building heavy because they're gonna be supporting Hashim Hassan. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have the Spanish people in the building heavy because we got a lot of Puerto Rican fighters on the card as well, and Mexican fighters. Shout out to my Mexicanos. You know what I'm saying? Let it be known where y'all from, man. Shout out to the Mazuma mob. Shout out to the nation. You feel what I'm saying? So it's gonna be on. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be popping. So if you want to see a different side of me, if you want to see me, you want to see me coaching. see what I do outside of this YouTube shit, you're more than welcome to come by. Coffee Plant say, are you gonna make an appearance on the live? You should be seeing me coaching, you know what I mean? And after, the fights are over, I may speak my piece after the fight. It depends on how I feel, man, because, you know, if we don't have good results that night, I might not want to talk. You feel me? That's just how I'll be giving it up. But, regardless, what I mean? Things happen. It's the amateurs. You're gonna win some, you're gonna have some lessons or whatever the case is. But the important thing is that our fighters grow. You know what I'm saying? So looking to win. You know what I mean? We winners over here. And we definitely gonna have some great competitive fights. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the way things turn out. So shout out to everybody that's in here. I'm precisely what up, John Paulino. He said great video, great topics and video. Keep it up. I haven't even gotten into the topics yet, brother, but thank you. Um okay. So they saying Karen didn't fight how he usually does. Look, man, I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't. I don't know exactly what happened with Karen. I think a lot of people have been bigging up Karen just because they just trying to make Boots look good and shit like that. But obviously, Karen's good enough to be a top contender and one of the world sanctioning bodies. You know what I'm saying? So he's not terrible, but he may not just be world level. You know what I mean? I don't know too much about Patty Donovan. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But if he dominated Karen, he may be a solid guy. I don't know. But it is what it is. Karen be all right. He could bounce back. You know what I mean? But maybe he's just not this world level fighter. Trick said, Mazuma, were you high on Karen even after the Boots loss? People were still high on him, and that he's going to give everybody problems. I wouldn't necessarily say that I was high on Karen, but I did respect Karen because he had versatility in his game. Like the first time when he fought Boots, he showed a lot of mobility, a lot of solid boxing, good fundamentals and shit like that. And then when he fought the second time, he actually had a come forward, aggressive pressure type of style. And it was essentially walking the Boots. So I was like, okay, so Karen could switch things up. Like he could be aggressive, what I mean? He could box, he's a solid dude. And plus, he didn't get stopped neither time that he fought Boots. And Boots is, a knockout artist. You know what I mean? He's a good finisher. So the fact that he was able to make it through both of those fights without getting knocked out, that speaks, to how tough Karen is, to how durable he is, to how skilled he is to be able to get past somebody like Boots and make it to the scorecards. Not beat him, but make it to the scorecards. So I think a lot of people, when they're big fans of Boots, like myself, they want to put Karen on this pedestal so people could give Boots respect for beating him. But at the end of the day, outside of Boots, outside of Karen fighting Boots, he hasn't really done anything besides be IBF mandatory. And tonight just showed that he may not be as good as people projected him to be or assumed him to be. But I was never really big on him. Like he got shut out on the cards the first time they fought, and then he probably won 2 to 3 rounds the second fight. So it's like, how good is he really? He has some versatility, which is something that's rare in boxing, but I wouldn't say I was big on him. You know what I'm saying? Solid, but no, he wasn't getting any type of praise from me. I was saying about Karen though that he could probably beat some of these guys, at welterweight, but tonight he couldn't get the job done. Jay says Karen was throwing way too many single shots on the front foot that Patty seen and counter. Okay, so it sounded like he was getting outboxed. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Jay says hardcore Boots fans were saying Karen is a tough fight for everyone, only because what they saw with Boots. Yeah, well, a lot of people fail to understand it just because I really felt like the fights was difficult because Boots made them difficult. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was necessarily because Karen was just like this overwhelming fighter that Boots just couldn't keep up with from an IQ standpoint. Absolutely not. I don't think that's what it was. I think Boots was in his own head. I think Boots had this approach that a lot of fighters have when they, are on the course of developing as fighters. They looking for, especially if they have some punching power, they just looking for that one big shot, one big shot, one big shot. You know what I'm saying? And Boots throughout his career, he never really had anybody give him that type of movement. So it was a learning experience. So, you're not gonna have everything figured out um off rip. You know what I'm saying? There's some fights that you have to go through and grow through. And I think that was one of those situations. And I think the other time, with Boots, the second fight where Karen was pushing him back, he had more success. Obviously, he dropped Karen and all of that shit. But I don't think Boots was really thinking his way through the process. It just seemed like he was just fighting. Like his mind was just on a different mode. And to be honest, I don't think Boots was really motivated for that fight either. No excuse. And at the end of the day, he did what he had to do to win. But I think Boots is at this point in his career, especially with having, 35, 34, 35 fights where, he needs, he already done went through a lot of fighters that, didn't really bring him any type of accolades or anything like that. So now moving forward, he wants to be a part of big fights that are significant, that have some type of belts or legacy on the line. And I think that Karen rematch he didn't even want to do in the first place. The IBF forced him and it was going to strip him. So he was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just fulfill my mandatory. But it is what it is. I think it was. I think Karen got a lot of credit because Boots fans want uh somebody on Boots' resume to brag about, but I was never really big on him in the first place. I think Boots made it more difficult than what it needed to be. Just my opinion. But even then, out of 24 rounds, Karen only got 3. Sounds like domination to me. You know what I'm saying? Josue Hernandez, what up? Marissa, what up? My boy Slime, what up? What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the mob, man. Let's get into these topics, man. Let's get into these topics. That Dayquil hitting, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. You feel what I'm saying? I'm feeling pretty good. When that Dayquil hit, ooh, we feeling good. But when that shit wear off, oh man, we down bad. But anyways, man, let's get into this dramatic weigh-ins that we just experienced today with Keyshawn Davis and Nair Albright and Brian Norman Jr. versus Josh. So let's go ahead and share the screen. Oh, sorry about that. A little bit of audio in the background. Shout out to my boy Junior Frank. What up? Jose said Keyshawn a hoe. Hopefully he gets stopped. God damn. That's crazy. But anyways, I'm about to give you guys my reaction to these guys missing weight because I heard that they missed weight, but I did not get the chance to watch these videos. I was just reading some shit on Twitter. Like I said, I was taking care of some things at the gym, doing some cleaning up, organizing, and all that. You feel me? So, I didn't get the time to actually watch these videos. So this will be my first reaction to Keyshawn Davis and Nair Albright's weigh-in. And then we're going to be checking in with my guy, Rudy, who I introduced to the chat yesterday. He's going to be giving his opinions on Keyshawn Davis missing weight.
Our fighters to the scale for the main event of the evening in unfinished business, brought to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated. It's Keyshawn Davis versus Nair Albright. 12 rounds of boxing in the super lightweight division. The weight limit on this fight is 100 pounds. First to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in association with Ronnie Rice's R&R Boxing. With a record of 17 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. He has 7 wins coming by way of knockout. The battle-tested super lightweight contender from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Please welcome Pretty Boy Woo Nair Albright. 139.7 pounds, 139.6.
Nair looked like he in good shape, man. Don't really look too drained. I mean, it looked like he made the weight comfortably. I mean, just based off of how the way his body look, he don't look dry or anything like that. Face a little, you know what I'm saying? But he got some high cheekbones, so I think he's gonna look like that regardless. As long as his face is thin, his cheekbones will show. But it turns out the way his physique looks, he looks like he's in pretty good shape and doesn't really look drained. So looked like Nair had a solid camp.
7 pounds for Nair Albright. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent with a record of 14 wins, no losses, 10 of his wins coming by way of knockout. He's a renowned U.S. Olympic silver medalist, the WBO #1 junior welterweight contender, and the former WBO lightweight champion of the world, the undefeated businessman, Keyshawn Davis.
The scale taking long as shit to calculate that motherfucking weight. But I'm gonna keep it real. Like looking at Nair, looking at Keyshawn, to me, I could be wrong. I don't know. But like in my years and being in boxing, Keyshawn don't look drained either. So it's like, did you have a scale that just wasn't calibrated? Did you just not give a fuck to make the weight? Did you wait last minute to cut the last few pounds? You don't look drained. Your face don't look sunken in. Your eyes don't look all bulged out. You don't look pale. You know what I mean? It don't look like you had. It looked like you clearly still got water in your system. You don't look like somebody who just had a tough ass time getting the weight off. You just moved into the weight class, so it's like I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very difficult for you to outgrow the weight when, for one, you just made the weight back in January, and two, you just acclimate. You still getting acclimated to the weight class. So why are we overweight? I just don't understand this shit, man. Ghost said he still made the weight at the end of the day. I don't know what's the issue. The issue is the fact that he didn't make it on the first attempt. Ghost, that's the problem. That's the problem. You feel what I'm saying? There's no reason why, when you are, devoting yourself to a 6, 7, 8 week training camp, that you are overweight. And maybe if this was a situation where this happened, this is like the first time, that maybe it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But we can't sit here and act like he made the weight. What's the issue? It took him 3 attempts. It took 3 attempts. So nobody can sit here and be like, oh, what's the problem? I mean, he made the weight. Bro, if it take you 3 fucking attempts to get 2 ounces off, just 2 ounces, that's a problem. Not only that, but you already have a bad reputation with your hometown. Because the last time you attempted to fight in your hometown, you didn't make the weight and the fight got canceled. You got to understand that. Not too long ago, when he was supposed to fight Edwin De Los Santos, it was in Norfolk. He missed weight significantly, and the fight got canceled. So I feel like that's why he didn't sell many tickets going into this fight right here. So instead of, being professional, making the weight the first time, being underweight, to be honest with you, to try to repair the reputation that you got with Norfolk, or, fix the reputation that you got amongst your people in your hometown, you're going to go and miss weight again. You're going to go and miss weight again. This nigga, and Keyshawn was so crazy about this. So, for one, if it take you 3 attempts to make the weight, that's a fucking problem. Because with 2 ounces, bro, you can literally spit in a fucking cup or go take a piss, shit, whatever the fuck the case is, and you should be 2 ounces under. 2 ounces is not that much. You know what I'm saying? So if it take you 3 attempts to get 2 ounces off, I don't even make sense. Like, I'm pretty sure if you jump rope for 10 minutes, dry your body off, you should be on weight. But whatever. To me, it's a big deal because you got a history of not making weight, for one, and you got a history of fucking your hometown over when it comes to these big fights. You know what I'm saying? So that's the issue that I have with it. And you claim to be this businessman, but every time it's time for you to, show that you're a businessman or you can move, or it's time to move professionally, you always doing some stupid shit. So looking at Keyshawn, and this is what pissed me off the most. Let's say, for instance, Keyshawn looked extremely drained and he couldn't get those last 2 ounces off. It is what it is. Move the fuck up, nigga. But Keyshawn doesn't look like a drained fighter to me. The nigga looked very healthy. Looked like he just got into the weight class. Didn't look like it was much sacrifice to get this weight off. Just my opinion.
Keyshawn Davis weighs in at 140.2 pounds. 140.2. Now that means that Keyshawn has 2 hours to make that 140-pound weight limit. He's going to try to weigh it now, strip down, and lose that 0.2 of a pound in order to make 140 pounds even.
Thinking they're gonna be lighter, but it's gonna be close.
$140.1 pounds. 140.1 pounds. He has 2 hours in order to lose that 1/10 of.
So, butt ass naked, he's still over an ounce. Is it a fucking big deal any other time? No. Because I think in certain commissions, if you're 2 ounces over, they'll just let it slide because they'll just count your underwear for being 2 ounces over. So is this the biggest fucking deal? No. I mean, it's really not. Not in my eyes. But considering your history and how you've disappointed fans in the past, you ain't got no room to be fucking up like this. You know what I'm saying? Trick said, could it be mind games? I don't think so, man. I really don't. Like, I don't understand. I don't even think like Wu gets affected by that type of shit. I mean, Wu's not an emotional nigga. Like, if you ever see Wu, he always chilling. He always, he's a calm, quiet, yet confident type of individual. I don't see this getting in Nair's head. The nigga's fighting. It is what it is. He's not somebody who's going to jump out his skin because somebody missed weight. I mean, that's just my take on the situation. You feel what I'm saying? But all in all, if this would have been any other person, probably nobody would give a fuck. You see not many people criticizing Brian Norman because there's no pattern with Brian Norman missing weight and shit like that. But when you got a motherfucker like Keyshawn Davis who has been somebody who's fucked up habitually, yeah, this is a problem because there's a pattern at this point. Justice said, Wu sings, works, and has a daughter, and he still makes weight. Yeah, it's really no excuse. There's really no excuse. Teach said, how many times Abdullah missed weight? Several times. Has he really? Abdullah Mason's missed weight before? Why did I never see that? Can you show me where Abdullah Mason has missed weight? Because I'm looking it up right now, and I don't see anything about him missing weight. I hope you're not over here just spreading false narratives. Yeah, Teach, you can't be saying shit on here and then, you can't be saying shit on here if you don't know, bro. That's misinformation. That's how rumors get spread, and we don't want to be known as one of those channels. All right, if you stripping down and you making weight, ain't nothing wrong with that. You feel me? But nah. I never heard of Abdullah Mason missing weight. I know the nigga that I know the reason why Abdullah main event the Norfolk the one time was because Keyshawn missed weight. Teach ain't wrong. He is wrong because he said how many times Abdullah Mason missed weight several times. I don't recall him missing weight a single time. Nah, if you strip and you make the weight, I don't see a problem with it. You feel me? How do I feel about Karen losing to Patty Donovan? I don't really feel no way about it. DeMarcus, I really don't. Like I said, I wasn't one of those guys who was really big on Karen Chukazan. I wasn't. You know what I mean? I got respect for him. I respected his game. I liked his versatility and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I don't really see what the problem is. Like the nigga lost. It's like, so what? You know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers, I swear, motherfuckers act like Karen beat Boots. So it's like every time Karen fights, oh man, this made Boots' resume age horribly. It's like, nigga, no, it didn't, bro. I hate when motherfuckers say that because if that's the case, then, we can't really give Bud much credit for the Gamboa win because look what Gamboa did after that. Losing every motherfucking body after the fact. No, we give that nigga credit for who the fighter was at the time that they faced him. We can't fucking predict. We can't sit here and predict what a fighter is gonna be like in the future. You feel me? But I don't know. Niggas be playing a little bit. Niggas be spicing up Karen name a little too much to try to big up, Boo's win. It was a good win, but Karen ain't like this fucking pound for pound level fighter who's supposed to just demolish. Yo, he's just not that. He's not a world level fighter in my opinion. You know what I mean? Even though y'all gonna say, even Boo said Karen would be Rolly, Karen, and Ryan. I mean, look, that's his opinion, bro. I can't tell Boots who he feels like is gonna be. That's how he feel. Me personally, Karen had never really showed me anything to make me feel like he could beat these other guys. The nigga fought Boots twice, lost both times. What the fuck else am I supposed to go off based off a dude? Gotta show me something. He stepped up, he fought Patty Donovan, he fucking lost. You feel me? And Patty's not even like a guy that we look at as like, oh my God, this guy's the future of the sport. At least not yet. So if you're losing to guys like Patty Donovan, I think it's safe to say you're not a world level fighter. Say what the fuck you want about Rolly, and that's a world level fighter. You feel me? Because you can't name that many people at welterweight that's better than Rolly. So they said he'd beat Conor Bendo. I don't know. Maybe. That'd be a good one. But regardless, man, let's see. Just looking at Keyshawn, he was an ounce over. Is it the biggest fucking deal? Is it for everybody to be talking crazy about? Not really, but considering Keyshawn Davis's past and his pattern of being a professional, this is a big deal. Because every opportunity Keyshawn gets to really, possibly become a star, get some eyes set on him, and get some type of attention, he do shit like this. He fought Nair the first time, pop positive for marijuana. Then you go and you fight Edwin De Los Santos, you miss weight. Fight gets canceled. You admit the alcoholism. Now you going into another fight with Nair Albright. Now you coming in overweight. And they both of those times that you disappointed, it was in your hometown. You see how he's hurting his stock? Do you see how he's hurting his brand? And ironically, this nigga goes around and he calls himself the businessman. Keyshawn, just change your name to The Amazing. Leave the businessman shit alone, because every time it was time for you to act accordingly, act professional, get your shit together, you do stupid shit like this. So, you know what I mean? You're unreliable. You're unreliable. And I'm sure Top Rank would see, they noticed that. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
The pound to make weight for this fight.
Well, Sergio, you were wrong. Underwear does not weigh 0.2 pounds. It weighs 0.1 pound.
He probably has heavier underwear than most. But this is so stressful for a fighter. This is where things start going wrong for a fighter, Todd. I'm telling you right now, Keyshawn Davis just lost so much momentum. And for Albright, the confidence is through the roof now. He knows that he has a wounded fighter in front of him, not only because of the weight, but because of the confidence. Look at the confidence in that man's face right there. That man's ready for war. He's the one that was responsible. He made the weight. Now, it's all his show. This is a big confident boost for Near Albright.
And, of course, with 2 hours, you got to believe Keyshawn's going to be able to lose 0.1 pounds, no problem, right?
I think so, but right now,
Unfinished business tomorrow night. The rematch from 2023, a majority decision win for Keyshawn. Later overturned to a no contest because he failed a marijuana test. No worries about that this time around.
man, I can't wait for this fight. Both these guys are so confident, so much resentment coming from both these fighters, but Near Albright's confidence through the roof. I can't wait for this fight tomorrow night.
All right, Kayla is standing by with Near Albright.
A lot of emotion, a lot of chirping going on. What is your message to Keyshawn?
The message is a big way. Be professional, bro. Like, last show was professional. This show was professional. Be professional, bro.
The last time you were here on the phone, you took down and you beat Kelvin. Now you get another crack at Keyshawn. What's going to be the difference this time around?
Everything. I'm coming home with that win. By all means. It's my time. It's my season. It's Wolf season.
A lot of noise in here. You know, he's from here. The family's here. How do you silence this noise when you step into the ring?
Just go in there and be nice, all bright. Just shine bright.
Good luck.
Keyshawn, big crowd for you today. Almost made that weight. How are you feeling right now, David, for the fight?
Feeling amazing.
A lot of history between you and Near Albright. What did you say to him as that face-off wrapped up?
I ain't say nothing.
Nigga, yes, you did. Nigga, yes, you did. We just seen you say something to fucking Nair before you walked away. All right, bro.
What kind of fight are you expecting? You're a guy that came out this week and said, I'm going to knock this man out. What gives you the confidence that you're going to do that?
That's just who I am. That's what I do. I knock people out.
Got a ton of people here supporting you here today. Going to be a ton of people. What kind of show do you think you're going to put on?
An unexpected show.
Appreciate it, Keyshawn.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's Keyshawn Davis missing weight. You know, after his third attempt, he was able to get that ounce off. So, you know, salute to Keyshawn Davis for that. And we got ourselves a fight. That's the most important part. You know what I'm saying? But let me go ahead and get into these comments real quick. Did I see that Keon and Kelvin moved up? No, I didn't even notice that. To be honest with you, I don't really be paying them guys any mind. I feel like neither one of them guys have done enough for me to even be sitting around and talking about them. You know what I mean? Don't nobody really be looking for Keon. Don't nobody really be looking for Kelvin. So it's like, until they do something significant, I don't even be checking in on them for real, bro. This nigga teach. What's up with you? Like you justifying unprofessionalism, bro? Like what's going on? You saying I don't know Keyshawn's circumstances, so I can't bash him. What do you mean? These are professional fighters. These are professional fighters that all they gotta do is train and get ready for fights. And you sign a contract to make a specific weight that you just moved up to early this year. You literally made the weight 4 months ago. Right? So what circumstances could possibly stop him from making weight? And if the circumstances really that bad, don't fight. Don't fight. He said the camp with Shakur was a good camp, and he made weight easy that time. Maybe he didn't have the same nutritionist. Well, whose fault is that? Do these niggas not have money? Are you got to be dependent upon Shakur to have a good training camp? You your own man. You have your own team. You got your own staff. So if it's a situation where he can only have a good camp unless Shakur around, like what type shit is that? Is this a? I don't really understand. Like what are we even talking about? And there's nutritionists everywhere. There's nutritionists everywhere. You can hire a nutritionist anywhere. And I'm sure Top Rank has those resources. They're getting right with a nutritionist that'll be able to get his weight off. They want to make sure Keyshawn make that motherfucking weight so they can make their money. So if needed, they'll give him a motherfucking nutritionist. And it's either going to come out of his fight purse or Top Rank will pay for it. Like, come on, bro. Ain't no justifying this shit. You know what I mean? We not about this. We already giving motherfuckers excuses for for having PEDs in their system. We already niggas already justifying niggas ducking fighters. We not about to sit here and justify or make excuses for niggas missing weight, bro. Because for all that, just let these niggas do whatever they want. If y'all gonna defend every time a fighter do some fuck shit, just let these niggas do what they want. Let these niggas run wild. And we know Nair Albright's circumstances, and the nigga made weight. So why can't Keyshawn? Keyshawn don't deal with as much as Nair does in terms of having a fucking job and doing all this other shit outside of boxing. Like, come on, man. My boy Anonymous said, I told you dude is a clown. My judgment sharp as hell. That lack of discipline will be his downfall. That's what it come down to. Because even when you looking at Keyshawn at this fucking weigh-in, his body looked dry. It didn't look like he just got finished working out or nothing like that. Like, it ain't look like he was really working hard to get them pounds off. Like, no. Like, that's lazy shit, bro. 2 ounces over. So you mean to tell me your scale ain't tell you that? 2 ounces over. Like, that's lazy shit. Just get the shit done. That kind of remind me of motherfuckers. Like, I remember the one time I told this one young boy, bro, run 2 miles on the treadmill, right? This nigga gonna get off. I'm like, how much you ran? I ran 1.9. Nigga, that's not 2 miles. Get the fuck back on that treadmill and run them fucking 2 miles, bro. It's not what I asked you. When I tell you run 2 miles, don't run no fucking 1.8. Don't run no fucking 1.5. Don't run don't run 1.95. Don't run 1.99. I'm asking for 2 miles. Stop fucking playing with me. So if your contract is 140, be either on the money or be below it. Yeah, Jay said he said that chicken broth for no reason. That's what I'm saying. This nigga stood in that nigga sat in a fucking tub of tea and ain't even make the fucking weight. And then he was already talking about, man, the hardest thing is making weight. Bitch, I could tell. Yeah, obviously it is an issue for Keyshawn. He's not disciplined. All these fucking episodes of vlogs he's doing, showing himself jumping rope and shadow boxing and training hard, supposedly, just for you to miss weight. It's like, what the fuck? What's missing in them episodes that we should know about? Why is it that you can't make the weight? You got access to nutritionists. You got access to All this shit, bro. It's not like you one of these local club fighters that's making $1,000 a show. No, you making 6 to 7 figures to fight, cuz. You can make things a lot easier than what you need than what it is. But you're purposely choosing to not be disciplined. Shame on you, man. For guys like Keyshawn, that is so unprofessional. It is. That's what it come down to. And like I said, if this was like his first situation, it's like, who gives a fuck? I mean, he was an ounce or two off. Who cares? But you have you're building a pattern now. So that's the problem. You know what I mean? So anyways, man, you know, that's why we're not really complaining too much about Brian Norman. We don't know Brian Norman for missing weight and shit like that. So, but, you know, let's see Brian Norman missing weight right here. And I'm going to tell you guys what I see. Let's go.
The assassin, Brian Norman Jr. versus the boss, Josh Wagner. Bringing out first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner with a record of 19 wins, 2 losses. He has 10 of his wins coming by way of knockout. He's a battle-ready welterweight from Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. Please welcome Josh, the boss, Wagner.
Josh Wagner coming off a tough defeat over in the UK to Harlem Eubank. He just never seemed to get going in that bout, Sergio.
No, he didn't. He was a little bit too defensive, a little bit, you know, using
Josh
his feet
Wagner
and ring too
weighs in
much.
at
I think he's going to have to be a little bit more
147 pounds,
offensive against a puncher like Norman Jr., but still utilize the ring and still box. He could be a potential spoiler if he plays the right game plan.
Association with Throwback Boxing, his record 28-1 with 22 knockouts. He is ranked.
That nigga Chris Mannix tall, ain't he? How tall is Chris Mannix? I never noticed.
The WBC number 5 welterweight in the world from Atlanta, Georgia. Here is the former WBO welterweight champion of the world, the assassin, Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman weighs in at 148.4 pounds. 148.4.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. Looking at Brian Norman, this was a sacrifice. This was a sacrifice. You just looking at his, you know, his face looked a little bit sunken in. Abdominal area looked like it got little to no water. Muscular as fuck. Yeah, man. I don't know what happened with Brian Norman. Because his dad was just bragging about how his son, you know, in the lead up to the Devin Haney fight, they said they only be having trouble making weight, and you know, it's easy to get down to 47. So what the fuck happened between the Devin Haney fight and this fight for Brian Norman to be overweight and then looking like he may possibly be outgrowing the division? Because they was just saying that they make the weight easy and it's going to be a little bit before they go to 54. Like I said, it could have just been a bad weight cut. Maybe he got sick in camp. Who fucking knows, right? Because I've seen situations where fighters get sick during camp and they have to hydrate in order to, you know, get back in good standards with their health. And then as a result of that, you know, as you know, and especially if the fight is close, you know, I mean, they have trouble getting the last few pounds off. I don't know what happened with Brian Norman, but one thing's for sure, he doesn't look like he has much water to cut from this physique right here. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I noticed. And, you know, he looks like he's all muscle, man. He really do. He don't look like he got much fat on his body. Don't look like he got much water to take out of his system. He looks shredded, man. So it definitely looked like he had to sacrifice to get down to the weight this time.
Brian Norman Jr., of course, Sergio trying to bounce back from his first pro loss to Devin Haney. What do you think we're going to see from him tomorrow night?
We better see a menacing Brian Norman Jr., the same guy that we thought was the boogeyman of the welterweight division, knocking out everybody, getting the knockout of the year versus Jin Sasaki. That's the monster we want.
Over the weight limit on this contracted fight. He's going to now try to strip down and make that weight limit.
What's the weight?
Versus was the
we're going to see from his back.
Brian Norman weighs in at 148.4 pounds. 148.
1.4 over. That's not good. That's not good. Stripping ain't gonna change shit. I ain't gonna lie. It's not.
Just a tad over the weight is Brian Norman Jr. He's gonna.
And just to be clear, 1.4 pounds over is just not a tad over. 2 ounces, 1 ounce, that's a tad over. 1.4, that's a lot of weight to be over. We keep it real.
Put on his birthday suit and try it again.
I think every boxer's been in this position before. Sometimes when you're a couple of ounces overweight, taking off your underwear might help.
Second weigh-in, 148.2, 148.2. He has 2 hours to make the weight limit. Carl, what is the weight limit on this? Carl, what is the weight limit on this contract? 148, so he has 2 hours to come back.
Oh, so his contracted weight is 148. Okay. Shout out to Jimmy Lennon for asking that question. So he's 4 ounces off. Well, 2 ounces off. So it's basically the same shit as fucking Keyshawn Davis. I retract what I said. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's letting me know as well. I thought this was a 147 contest. But whatever. He's overweight. It's unacceptable. Brian Norman definitely got to get that shit together because that's not a good look. You know what I mean? Especially coming off of a loss, people are going to question whether you focused or not, where you at from a psychological aspect. You know what I mean? I'm going to give Brian Norman a pass. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know if them scales ain't calibrated over there in them hotel rooms out there in Norfolk. I don't know what's going on. But, you know, Keyshawn, 1 to 2 ounces over. Brian Norman, 2 ounces over. You know what I'm saying? Thank God it wasn't that big of a weight difference because initially I thought it was 1.4 pounds over. That's the issue. You know what I mean? But I don't know if Brian Norman attempted to make the weight or he just paid the fine. But if he paid the fine, I'm going to say this. Did Brian Norman pay the fine? Because if he did, that lets me know that he didn't have much more to lose, or at least he wasn't trying to lose no more because it could affect his performance. So that'd be very telling.
Lose that 0.2 of a pound in order to make weight for this co-main event of the evening.
How hard is it to lose 0.2 pounds when you're already as drained as Brian Norman is right now?
Well, we're going to find out because 0.2 pounds sounds like nothing. Sometimes you can just go to the restroom or a light little jog on the treadmill for like 10 minutes. But if you're already dehydrated and you have nothing else to lose, half a pound, 0.2 pounds, 0.2 anything is going to be very hard to do.
So for Josh Wagner, maybe a little bit of a little pep in his step because he knows the fighter tomorrow night that he faces will have really had a tough weight cut.
No, look, the stars are aligning for Josh Wagner.
There they
and
are,
you can see the size difference here.
Main event of the evening, the assassin Brian Norman Jr. versus Josh the Boss Wagner, welterweights, 10 rounds of boxing and a special attraction.
And there you see the size difference, not only in height, but in size as well. I mean, shoulders, everything's a little bit bigger. He looks like a taller, longer, bigger fighter in Wagner, but we're going to find out if he can compete with a monster like Brian Norman Jr.
He just said that nigga breath stink. Brian Norman ain't even open his mouth. What the fuck? Like, Brian Norman ain't say a single word. So I guess he try to play psychological games right now. Brian Norman ain't with that stupid shit, man. I don't know who this guy is, Josh Wagner. I guess he's going to let his presence be known tomorrow night. Or at least he's going to attempt to, you know, get his name out there in this fight. Brian Norman definitely made some sacrifices to make this weight. Ronnie Shields said the scale's tripping. I don't know, man. I do find it a little bit funny that both of these guys were exactly off by 2 ounces. Maybe there's something wrong with the scales. I don't know. But regardless, they definitely got to get their shit together. You feel what I'm saying? So We'll see. Keyshawn didn't look drained to me, but Brian Norman looks like he had a tough cut. I ain't gonna lie to you. Uh, if he actually paid that fine, that lets me know that he didn't really have much more to give in terms of cutting weight, which is kind of a red flag for me because if you can't get 2 ounces off, that means the way that you're feeling already is not a good look. Does anybody know whether he paid the fine or not? Did he attempt to make weight again? Let me see. 'Cause I'm sure it wasn't that much of a fine considering he was only 2 ounces over. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so Brian Norman Jr. He made weight. Say he came in 147.2. All right, so I mean 147.8. So whatever, it is what it is. I don't know what the fuck was happening over there. Maybe it was something going on with them scales, but what's important is that these guys are fighting each other. Shout out to the boy Tego. Go 787 said 154 calling Norman's phone. I don't know. It looked like it. Might not be the next fight or anything like that, but 154 is definitely in the works for Brian Norman. Definitely. Especially if he underperforms in this fight right here, or he looks like look like he's overtrained or whatever. 154 is definitely going to be the next move for Brian Norman. It's all dependent upon how he performs tonight. Tomorrow night. If he goes ahead and he whoops Josh Wagner and he looks good, whatever the case is, they'll keep him there. But if he's struggling to make the weight and then he performs as if he's struggling to make the weight, then they're going to do whatever's in their best fighter's interest, and that's listen to his body and move the fuck up. Which, he should be okay at 154. I mean, he got power. He got speed. I mean, he got explosiveness. So I'm sure he'd be all right, fighting those bigger guys. Norman's not the biggest guy. He's not the tallest guy, but he pack a punch. You know what I'm saying? But 154 is a way more dangerous and deeper division as of today than welterweight is. So, best of luck to him. But he missed the weight, but he was able to make it back on his. He was able to make the weight the second time around. So let's hear what they got to say.
Who needs to make a statement after that loss?
Josh Wagner said, after this fight, they'll be wanting to see me again. They'll say, who's that guy and when is he fighting? But it will not be easy against Brian Norman.
You can talk a lot from down there. You'll see. You'll see.
All right, we're going to hear from the fighters in our co-main event here shortly. Kayla is on the stage with Josh Wagner.
Josh, I saw you chirping over there. What were your words?
A guy calls himself an ex-champion. He can't even make weight. That's the most disrespectful thing in the sport. Hopefully he can make weight in the next hour. If not, I'm going to get the extra pay. I'm going to whoop his ass on Saturday. Big upside coming in. Everyone's counting me out. It's my time to shock the world, and I'm going to show everyone. So, Brian Norman, you got something coming your way.
You said you're going to shock the world. How do you plan on doing so?
By any means necessary. If I have to fight him, if I have to box and move. The guy got shown up by Haney. He was a world-class fighter, can box and move. I'm a very good boxer. If I have to fight him, I will. I'm way bigger than this guy. So you guys can count me out, call me underdog, watch Saturday night.
I know you come from your Canadian roots. What does this mean for Canadian boxing?
I mean, we have a lot of good fighters up in Canada. We don't get the recognition that we need. So I'm here to do that. So to all my Canadians, tune in Saturday. Let's get it, baby.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks.
Brian, let's start with the weight. 0.40. I assume you're going to go back and try to lose that weight to get official on the fight.
Just a quick bathroom break and I'm back at it.
You heard the talk from Josh over there. He's been talking a lot during this week. What do you make of it? What kind of fight are you expecting on Saturday?
I love to talk, man. I'll see him tomorrow.
You're working with Ronnie Shields for this fight. First time with him in your corner. What kind of differences can we expect to see from you on Saturday?
I'm not going to say anything, but Y'all will see it tomorrow.
This guy says he's going to bring the fight to you. Said, don't look at his past fights as any kind of example. You're smiling at that. What do you think happens if this guy comes to Rumble?
We'll see tomorrow.
I appreciate it, Brian.
All right.
Yeah, Brian Norman ain't doing no rapping, but I'm looking at that bottom lip. That bottom lip white than a motherfucker. Yo, that nigga right there, boy. If that nigga, get that nigga some water ASAP. Oh my God, that boy needs some Pedialyte in his system. Yeah, that was a little tough weight cut for Brian Norman. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I've been trying to fall back off of saying all of that, but yeah, that was a little. This was a tough camp for him. I don't know what caused it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's gonna be tough. I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna be tough. But you know, he got 24 hours and some change to rehydrate and shit like that. So, you know, Brian Norman's still young. You feel me? So he should be feeling a lot better by now. But one thing, regardless of your age, an overtrained fighter is a vulnerable fighter. So we'll see exactly how much fight Brian Norman left in the gym tomorrow night. So that's my reaction to these guys' weigh-ins right here. Of course, we're going to get into our final predictions and speak on exactly what we feel like is going to happen. You know, starting with Keyshawn Davis versus Naira Albright, I'm making it clear right now. I am rooting for Naira Albright to get the win. You know what I mean? I would love to see Naira Albright get that opportunity. I just don't like how the way Keyshawn Davis has been moving lately. I feel like what he's doing is toxic to the sport. I think a lot of the narratives that he's subscribing to is dangerous for the sport as well. Really don't like the friendly shit. I really don't like the, you know, not respecting the sanctioning bodies and not wanting to explore unification fights and things of that nature. So, you know, I could really care less about Keyshawn Davis, to be honest with you, man. I respect the skill. I do think that, you know, in ways he can be a special fighter, but the mentality is just not there. Naira Albright, on the other hand, he's open and willing to face just about anybody. And, you know, considering that he's from Philly as well, I want to see him do well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely rooting for Naira Albright. However, you know, when we look at that first fight, I thought Keyshawn Davis had won the fight clearly, but it got overturned because he couldn't put the fucking weed down, right? Cool. So really assessing this fight, I do feel like Keyshawn Davis has gotten better as a professional fighter. I do think that he has gotten sharper. I think that he understands the sport a little bit more since that fight right there. I think at that time, Keyshawn Davis was more about, you know, he was more, you know, he had the skills, but it seemed like he prioritized, you know, fighting and showcasing grit and just being like the alpha in the ring. I do think in that Jermaine Ortiz fight, it seemed like he was putting everything together. I seen composure. I seen intelligence. I seen beautiful shot selection. I seen pinpoint accuracy. You know what I'm saying? And I seen somebody taking their time and slowly but surely breaking down their opponent. And Jermaine Ortiz is a fighting motherfucker, so I could really respect how the way Keyshawn defeated him, man. He's systematically destroyed Jermaine Ortiz. And I think Naira Albright is going to have some difficulty in this fight if Keyshawn Davis has the same mentality. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn is a beast that, you know, a lot of people talk about Shakur Stevenson, but Keyshawn Davis understands range real well too. I think he has a good jab. I think he got good speed. And he has good shot variation as well. You know what I'm saying? And I think Naira Albright does tend to, you know, he does bring the fight, he does bring the pressure, he does come in phenomenal shape. But I do think that there's times where like he gets overly aggressive, jumps into shots. And I think in those scenarios with the type of timing that, you know, Keyshawn Davis has, he can run Naira into one of those shots. And, you know, Naira is definitely durable. He definitely is tough. You know, he's not going to be the one to just go out like a hoe with one shot. But, you know, I went back to watch that Frank Martin fight, and I seen him get rocked multiple times. You know what I mean? His determination, his grit was able to get him past that. But I don't know if he gets hurt by Keyshawn Davis, if he's still going to be able to weather that storm, because Keyshawn, you know, in my opinion, is a better fighter than Frank Martin. And I think he's a better finisher than Frank Martin overall. You know what I'm saying? So just based off of that, I could see Keyshawn Davis and Nair Albright being a tough competitive fight initially, but I think once things slow down and Nair jumps into Keyshawn's range recklessly, I could see Keyshawn timing him and possibly hurting him. I think that Keyshawn Davis is going to get the stoppage. Even though I don't want to see that happen, just trying to think about it objectively and just keeping it raw, just keeping it real with y'all. And maybe Nair will prove me wrong again because I thought Frank Martin was going to beat him, right? And after watching that fight, I thought Nair won the fight slightly. But, all in all, man, I think Keyshawn Davis is going to beat Nair Albright. I think he's going to stop him late. I'll probably say round 9. But if it doesn't go to a knockout, I definitely think Keyshawn's going to win on the card. So I'm picking Keyshawn Davis to win. Now, Brian Norman Jr. versus Josh Wagner. I was going to speak on that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just watch some clips on Josh Wagner just so I can get a good understanding of who he is. Or at least get an idea of who he is. Let's see. So a year ago, he was about 18. Let's see exactly who he is. 18 wins, 9 knockouts at the time of this video. He was 18-0. So just looking at Josh, he looks kind of slow, to be honest with you. Seems active. Like he's very. I'm gonna say he's very reactive. He got some. I'm not gonna say good. He got some solid counters. Like he got a little steam on his punches too. But I ain't gonna lie, this dude Josh makes a lot of mistakes. For somebody like Brian Norman, who's a pretty good counter puncher, unless he's just completely drained in the fight and he ain't got nothing left in the gas tank or whatever, I ain't gonna lie, I see a lot of openers for Brian Norman, man. I think Brian Norman's inside game, I think his composure, he's not walking Brian Norman down like that. Yeah, I mean, he might be able to catch Brian Norman with some shots because Brian Norman's defense is a little bit shaky, but overall, man, I think that if they were to sit in the pocket and trade, I think Brian Norman would chop him up. And plus, like, I think this dude Wagner's what is going on? Josh Wagner, he likes to fight on the inside. Okay, I can see why they taking this fight as a comeback fight. He likes to fight at mid-range and at close range. He likes to fight in the pocket and at mid-range. Brian Norman being a good counterpuncher that he is, man, and that boy Josh Wagner like to leave that lead hand down. Ooh-wee. Wouldn't be surprised if Brian Norman starch him as soon as he touch him. Oh, man. He don't like to use his feet neither. He don't like to move. Shit. I got to see the fights he lost. Let me see. Let's go back. Harlem Eubank. So this was 5 months ago. So Harlem Eubank just beat Josh Wagner not too long ago. So let's take a look. Okay. Yeah, he just jumps in, bro. He just jumps in. Okay, so he does move a little bit. Okay. Oh, man. He just walks in without a jab, too, man. Yo, Brian should have a counter-punching. He should have a counter-punching frenzy against Josh Wagner. That's just based off of what I'm seeing right here. I wish I could show y'all, but y'all know how YouTube be. You know I mean, they banned my account for a week going live for doing some shit like that. But yeah, just I don't know Josh Wagner, but just a little bit of clips that I've seen, and I usually get a good indication of who a fighter is just watching a few clips. You know what I mean? I'm experienced enough to at least pick up on things from that aspect. And just seeing Josh Wagner lead hand down, he jumps into close range without a jab. He literally, I've seen moments where he literally jumps in to somebody's fucking range without throwing a single punch. He just steps in. Like, that's very dangerous with somebody like Brian Norman, who could crack and got good counter punching ability. So won't be surprised if Josh Wagner touched that canvas, man. Early too. Early. But Brian Norman did look like he made a lot of sacrifices to get down to that weight. We'll see, especially if it goes into the later rounds, how Brian Norman feels and how brutal that cut was. One thing about the ring is gonna expose you. If you had a bad training camp, unless you sparked the nigga early, it's gonna show. If you had a good training camp, it's gonna show. If you had a bad weight cut, it's gonna show. If you had a good weight cut, it's gonna show. So we'll see. You know what I mean? We might see B. Norman jabbing a lot more. I mean, he definitely should, because one thing about that Wagner guy, from what I saw, he pulls straight back for one. And then on top of that, he's not somebody who really uses his jab consistently. So if you could take over the jab, that's just an open avenue for you to take over the jab department. You take over the jab department, you're going to have a lot of things. Your offense is going to flow a lot easier, and you're going to be in control of these rounds more likely than he would be. Trick said the way Josh Wagner was oozing confidence was similar to Zach Chelly. He got the upset win over David Morrell. You never know what can happen. That's a fact. That's a fact. But one thing I'm going to say is, just because you're speaking confidently doesn't necessarily equate to you getting a victory. You know what I'm saying? We've seen confident motherfuckers get starched in there. Like, we you know what I'm saying? Like, we seen Errol Spence talking confident against Bud, and we seen what happened. We seen Jermaine talking confident against Keyshawn. We seen what happened. You know what I'm saying? There's a few that we say Edgar Berlanga talking confidently against Hamza Shiraz and Canelo Alvarez. We seen what happened. So, that doesn't always mean that, they're shooing for a W, but then we seen guys confident who actually pulled off victories like Dalton Smith, Subriel, Kambosos, T.O. You know what I mean? Kambosos had, I swear, going back to that shit, bro, like looking at those old press conferences, George Kambosos, it looked like damn near destiny for him to beat Teofimo Lopez. Like, how confident he was. He just looked like he'd been there before. Like, he didn't think, you could tell, like, he didn't think, like, he was so sure of himself. He didn't think much of T.O. at all. That shit really rattled T.O.'s fucking ego, in my opinion. I think that really fucked with his confidence. Chris Colbert, oh yeah, absolutely. Talk crazy as shit to Rayo. Got a gift the first time. Second time he was talking shit, got starched. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Tricks, you definitely right. Anything can happen. We could be talking about this fight being an upset of the year. Same thing goes for fucking the main event, Keyshawn and Nair. You never know with this boxing shit. I'm telling you, you never truly know. You could break down these guys' styles. You could pick apart all their flaws, their pros, their cons, everything, bro. You could watch hours of film and you could still be wrong. That's how crazy boxing is. You could have this shit. You could have both of these styles down to a fucking T. Make a beautiful prediction, a logical, sound prediction, and then totally be wrong. So it's like, you never know, bro. But I think Keyshawn's going to defeat Nair Albright, possible stoppage, in the 9th, the 10th round, I'm going to say. And I think Brian Norman has the tools to knock Josh Wagner out. So I think we're going to see some back-to-back knockouts tomorrow night. Norman about to get another Sasaki-type KO. Possibly. I don't think Wagner is as reckless as Sasaki, though. I see him actually moving a little bit. I see him pulling straight back. Sasaki was just cool with getting hit. Like, that was, I don't know, bro. That shit is crazy to me. It's crazy how motherfuckers just take punishment. Like, you get it. Oh, man, you got a warrior spirit. Yeah, we apply. No. I don't want to be that person. And then, I'm struggling having conversations with my grandkids. Like, crazy. We seen it last week. Morrell got slumped. Yeah, he definitely did. Still very disappointed in that situation, though, man. I was really rooting for David Morrell to do something. Dwyer said, I think Albright is going to be a problem for Keyshawn. I still got Key winning, but I don't think it's going to be easy at first. Yeah, I think Keyshawn and Albright is going to be competitive early, but I do think as the rounds go on, I think Keyshawn is going to find more success with time and Nair Albright. Like I said, Nair is talented, very game, very confident, and liable to upset a lot of these guys in or around 140 pounds. But he has flaws, man. Like Nair gets hit. You feel me? And Keyshawn got some good timing, man. He, just like how the way he stopped Gustavo Lemos and all that type of counter punching could give Nair some fits, man. It could possibly hurt him. But it's all about Keyshawn's mentality too, because if he come in here emotional and he's not as focused as he was for Jermaine, it's gonna be a rumble. And if a rumble break out, Nair got a better chance, in my opinion. If that shit's just a straight out fight, like they rumbling, I think Nair got a better shot. But if we see Keyshawn being smooth, composed, calculated, using his jab, sharp combinations, stabbing to the body and all that, I think he can slowly but surely break Nair down and pack him late. That's what I think. It's all about Keyshawn's approach. You know what I mean? Do we got any open topics? Do we have any open topics? Let me go ahead and get my phone real quick while I put the questions together. I'll be right back. Be my last comment and pull it up on X. Go said, what you think about Haney saying Boots had to be trolling? I think I already had seen that, but let me see. Okay, so this is Devin Haney's tweet right here, because obviously Karen just lost to Patty Donovan early today. And this was Devin Haney's reaction to the whole situation. He said, wait, Boots said the Karen dude would beat me. He was trolling, right? Listen, man. I remember that Jerron Ennis was doing like a question, playing a little question game or whatever. And it was like, this fighter or that fighter, this fighter or that fighter. And along the road, they brought up Karen Chukazan, and Boots mentioned that Karen Chukazan could beat a few of these dudes. And Devin Haney was one of the dudes that he felt like could lose to Karen. Now, what do I think about this whole situation, and could have Boots been trolling? Possibly. Could have been. Could have been trolling. I really don't know. We would have to ask Boots that. But my opinion on this whole situation, that's how Boots felt in that moment, then that's his opinion. I can't influence another motherfucker's opinion. I can't tell niggas that they wrong for believing in what they believe in. He shared the ring with that man twice. Just based off of how the way, he assessed Karen. Maybe he feels like Karen has the potential to beat them guys. I don't know. Me personally, I don't think Karen is of that level. I don't think he beats a Devin Haney. You know what I mean? That's just not something that I believe. I don't know if he beats a Rolly Romero. Like, I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? I never looked at Karen Chukazan as being like this world-level fighter. I just looked at him as a contender that fought Boots twice. Nothing more, nothing less. Right? And being a top contender in the IBF for whatever reason. You know, that's how I assess Karen Chukazan. Versatile, you know what I mean? He could box, he could bang and all that. So, you know, he could be dangerous because a lot of guys can't make adjustments like that. But all in all, he hasn't done anything worthwhile in boxing to make me feel like he could beat somebody like Devin Haney. Devin Haney has been showing improvement since becoming champion at 135. You know what I mean? So I had more reassurance in his character and his skill set and his ability to rise to the occasion in big fights in comparison to Karen Chukazan, who's 0-2 and 0-3 in fights that we've seen that has some sort of significance to him. Who has Karen beat that we were like, oh my God, like he actually beat this name, or this is actually a good win for Karen? We don't know anybody that he's beat. We know he fought Boots twice, he lost, and then he just fought Patty Donovan and he lost. So I don't know. Maybe Boots really felt that way. Maybe he was trolling. I have no idea. You feel me? I don't really got much to say outside of that. Dwight says, what you think about the Boots versus Xander card? I feel like for how big that fight is, the card isn't that great. Let's review that undercard one more time. Let's see. So obviously he's fighting Xander Zayas. Emiliano Vargas versus Bryce Mills. It's an okay fight. You know what I'm saying? It's an okay fight. Ben Whitaker versus Richard Rivera. He going up against Popeye. Yeah, like I said, and I spoke about this previously. The card overall has some solid names on there. Solid names that the hardcore boxing fans know. We know Boots, we know Xander, we know Emiliano. You know what I mean? We know Jahi Tucker. Some of y'all might know Yuri Cedeno, but, you know, Jahi Tucker, he been on the top rank for a little while now. And, of course, we know Ben Whitaker, he's been going viral for his, you know, flashy showman-like style. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of notable names, the card has that. But in terms of, like, great overall fights, it's not really that. You know, Ben Whitaker is in the process of being built by Matchroom Boxing. You know, he just signed with Matchroom Boxing like 2-3 fights ago. And Eddie Hearn is in the process of building him. So, you know, I don't expect Ben Whitaker to face no fucking world champion at light heavyweight or no top contender at light heavyweight like a fucking Atifo Burlton or a Najee Lopez, like, or a Khalil Coe. I don't really see him fighting them guys. If he fights any of them, it'll most likely be Khalil Coe. But like those other guys that I just mentioned, the Najees and the Atifs, I just don't see that happening. Or Dimitri Bivol or Dave Benavidez, that's not ready yet, according to Eddie Hearn. So I'm not necessarily surprised with him fighting somebody by the name of Richard Rivera. I'm not surprised. Now, Jahi Tucker versus Yuri Cedeno, I think this has potential to be the fight that stands out for the night. I think that's an action-packed fight. Yeah, we don't really know these guys too well. Yeah, they're not the biggest names, but these guys are very exciting. Both of these guys are dogs, and they like to bring the fight. Stylistically, that has potential to be the fight of the night. Emiliano Vargas. Emiliano Vargas, where he just won, like, Prospect of the Year last year by the Ring Magazine and all that. Top Rank is in the process of building him, too. You know what I mean? He's the son of a legend in Fernando Vargas and all of that shit, who was a world champion in his own right. And, you know, according to what they be saying, they feel like Emiliano has the look, he has the style. I mean, so they're going to take their time with him because they understand that if he's able to make it, he could be the next Oscar De La Hoya or whatever the case is, or at least that's what they're banking on. So, you know, I don't expect Emiliano Vargas to be fighting no top lights, 135, 140 guys neither. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I don't see him fighting no top 140s right now. Who they're gonna throw him in with? Who? Oscar Duarte? Are they gonna throw him in with fucking Shakur Stevenson? Are they gonna throw him in? No, absolutely not. What they doing right now is that they putting money into this kid, building him up the right way, so when he's in position to fight for a world title, they can go ahead and make that money back. They're not cashing out Emiliano Vargas anytime soon. So notable names, yes. Big fights, No, but to be honest with you, the main event sells itself, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think the main event sells itself. I'm specifically going to this card just for that fight, not going anywhere else. Like I'm not. I would not drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to watch Emiliano fight Bryce. I'm not driving that much to watch Jahi and Yuri Cedeno fight. I'm not driving that far to watch Ben Whitaker fight. But all that, I can stay in the comfort of my fucking crib and just watch it. Jerron Ennis versus Xander Zayas, this shit sells itself. Point blank, period. But no, it's not the best card. You feel what I'm saying? I think we've been getting spoiled by so many Turkey out of sheet cards that now we assessing every card and like trying to determine whether it's ass or not. No, this is a good card. Just based off of the main event. Feel me? That's just me. They gonna build them like they did Ryan. Absolutely. But Top Rank way better at building fighters than Golden Boy is. Like Top Rank builds you, and then they don't have a problem with putting you in world title fights and shit like that. Golden Boy, they be holding your hand the whole time. Like they don't want you to take any fucking risk whatsoever. Eventually, Top Rank gonna roll the dice on you and see what you built. Like that's what they doing with Richard Torres right now with Frank Sanchez. That's what they doing right now with Abdullah Mason and Joe Cordina. You know what I mean? That they've been doing it. They roll the dice with their fighters. I mean, I fuck around and go to the prelims. I gotta see what time I'm gonna get to New York, man. A lot of shit could change between now and the 27th. One thing's for sure, I'm gonna be there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ralph. Oh, man, this guy's so handsome, man. Like these fucking male commentators. Man, he just has the look. Look at him. Look at that beautiful smile, man. He just has that pretty look. I mean, I'm sure the women love him. No, nigga, you love him. Remember when Anthony Joshua, man, he has the body of a Greek god. What the fuck? Bro, like, I don't give a fuck how a motherfucker look, bro. I don't give a fuck how many hoes they get. I'm a fucking man, bro. One thing you ain't never gonna hear me do is compliment a nigga body, compliment a nigga facial features, they smile. Nigga, we not doing none of that. We here to talk about boxing. If we gonna compliment anything, we gonna compliment how these niggas skills, they power, you know, shit like that. Like, nigga, we ain't going nowhere outside of that. I'm not talking about, man, this guy's abs have been sculpted from stone. It's like, nigga, we not doing that, bro. Y'all niggas is fucking blades, cuz. Like, we don't do none of that shit over here. Fuck I look like. I mean, I'm about to ask my boy Rudy, man. I'm about to ask my boy Rudy what he think about these weirdo commentators flirting with these fighters, man. Let me see. Where my guy at, man?
Bro, are you fucking serious right now? We was just deep in boxing talk. You was agreeing with me about Keyshawn's bad habits, and now you back on this fairy tale Disney princess voice again? The fuck is wrong with you, man? You really got multiple people living in that head, don't you?
Man, shut the fuck up, man. What you think about these fucking commentators that be complimenting these guys' bodies and their facial features instead of talking about their fucking skills, man?
Bro, that shit is mad sus, and it's been annoying the fuck out of me too. These commentators be on some straight homosexual shit. Nigga just got dropped, bleeding from the mouth, and they talking about, wow, look at his chiseled jawline, and he's in incredible shape tonight. Like, nigga, we watching a fight, not a fucking modeling show. Talk about the jab, the footwork, the defense, not how pretty his fucking eyes are. It's weird as hell, especially when they do it with the younger fighters. That shit gets extra creepy. Half the time, I don't even know if they watching the same fight we watching. You peep that shit heavy too, huh?
Yeah, bro. They be staying on Ryan Garcia top. They be talking about Anthony Joshua too, man. I don't know what's up with these niggas, Rudy. They be tripping.
Exactly, bro. They stay glazing Ryan Garcia's ass like he's the second coming of Jesus. Every time he fights, it's, oh, look at his abs, look at his hair, look at his smile. Nigga, we don't give a fuck about how pretty he is. Talk about his fucked up defense and how he got dropped by a journeyman. And Anthony Joshua, they talk about that nigga's body like it's a Greek statue. Look at those shoulders. What a specimen. Bro, he got knocked out twice and y'all still drooling over his physique? Talk about the fact that he folds under pressure instead of telling me how statuesque he looks. These commentators be sounding like they want to fuck the fighters more than break down the actual fight. It's weird as fuck, man. They need to get their shit together.
Yo, this nigga Rudy be tripping. Oh my God. That shit is hilarious.
Right? These commentators really be out here sounding like they want to suck dick more than call a boxing match. It's actually insane how they be doing it with a straight face, too. What a beautiful specimen of an athlete, my ass. Nigga, he just got his jaw broken. Talk about the fucking fight.
Yo. That's funny. So what you think about Keyshawn Davis missing weight when he's missed weight in the past and got fights canceled and letting down his hometown of Norfolk again, man? What you think about that?
Bro, it's fucking unacceptable. This is like the third or fourth time this nigga missed weight. He already had fights canceled behind this shit before. And now he's doing it in his own hometown of Norfolk? That's actually crazy.
Go ahead, bro. Finish what you had to say.
Yeah, I was saying, he needs to stop wasting everybody's time at 140. Move up to 147 permanently and stop putting people through this last-minute weight miss bullshit. Every time he misses weight, it fucks up the whole card, fucks up the fans who paid money, and fucks up his opponent's preparation. It's selfish as fuck. He got the talent, but the discipline ain't there. And doing this shit in his own hometown, that's actually crazy. That's some I don't give a fuck energy right there. If he misses weight again after this, they should honestly start finding his ass heavy or just stop booking him at that weight altogether. What's your take on it? You think he moves up or he going to keep playing this game?
I just think that Keyshawn is very inconsistent, man. I think he's very inconsistent. I think he's unreliable. And I think he's going to continue to do this because at this point, it's a pattern that he continuously fucks up, lets the fans down, and just does some unprofessional shit, whether he's smoking marijuana, admitting to drinking every day in camp, missing weight and getting fights canceled. And then, it's seeming to be unapologetic in the process as well. So I think Keyshawn is constantly going to be this person who just fucks up. And we've had a lot of fighters who was like that. Adrian Broner, Gervonta Davis early in his career. The list goes on and on and on.
You hit the nail right on the head, bro. That's exactly what the fuck it is. A pattern. Not a mistake, a pattern. Keyshawn is the new Adrian Broner. Same exact energy. Talented as fuck, but zero discipline, zero professionalism, and zero accountability. Smoking weed, drinking every day, missing weight, letting fans down, then acting like it ain't a big deal. That's Broner 2.0 right there. The fact that he keeps doing this shit in his own hometown makes it even worse. Nigga don't even respect his own people enough to show up in shape. And like you said, he ain't even apologetic about it. That's what really pisses me off. No real remorse, just excuses. At this point, if you're a promoter, why the fuck would you keep investing in this nigga? He's unreliable. You can't build around somebody who might not even make weight. Gervonta cleaned that shit up. Keyshawn clearly don't wanna. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. This ain't gonna stop. This is who he is.
Introduce yourself to the people on the live, man, because a lot of people are asking who you are.
Hi, what's good live? It's your boy Bad Rudy in this bitch. I'm the most unhinged, red-pilled, foul-mouthed red panda you ever heard in your fucking life. I don't give a fuck about none of these soft-ass boxers y'all be simping for. I'll tell you the real. When these niggas ducking, when they soft, when they full of shit, and when these commentators sound like they want to suck dick instead of calling the fight. I smoke, I drink, I talk reckless, and I don't apologize for shit. So if you sensitive, soft, or a snowflake, this ain't the voice for you, my nigga. Now what's good? Y'all got questions, or we just gonna keep cooking these boxers all night?
Oh my god, this dude crazy. Shout out to the boy Rance23 with the $5 super chat. He said, Rudy going too hard. That man gonna get your channel investigated. Oh man.
First of all, it's Rudy, not Rudy, you dusty ass nigga. Tell Razor ain't nobody getting investigated for talking shit about boxers missing weight and commentators glazing motherfuckers' jawlines. This nigga acting like I'm telling people how to build bombs or some shit. Relax, bro. Tell that nigga if he's scared of a little smoke, he can go watch some other soft-ass channel. This the grown man section. We don't give a fuck over here. Appreciate the $5, though, even if he a scary-ass nigga.
Yo, this is the best app in the world, bro. I'm trying to tell you this shit right here, the truth, dog. Oh my god. Cracking the fuck up.
I ain't even said nothing that crazy yet. These niggas really fragile as fuck, bro. A $5 super chat just to say Rudy going too hard and talking about getting the channel investigated? Nigga, please. I ain't even warmed up yet. If that little bit of smoke got his panties in a bunch, he gonna have a heart attack by the end of this live. These niggas soft as baby shit, man.
Yo. All right, man. What questions y'all got for Rudy? Let me know, man. Let me know what questions y'all got for Rudy.
Pull up then, live. Y'all got questions for me? Hit my man with them. It don't matter what y'all want to talk about. Boxing, fighters, who ducking who the most overrated, who the most fraudulent. Shit, y'all can even get personal if y'all want. I don't give a fuck. I'm here, I'm faded, and I'm not holding back shit. So what's up? Who got a question for the most unhinged red panda in the game? Let's get it.
What you mean you faded? What you fucking with that liquor?
Hell yeah, nigga. I'm sipping right now. I got a cold ass 40 ounce of malt liquor in my hand, chain smoking these Newports, and I'm already on my
What the fuck?
That's why. What? You acting surprised like you ain't know what the fuck I was on. I've been telling you I'm a lazy, degenerate, chain-smoking, cheap beer-drinking red panda this whole time. You thought I was sober or something?
Oh, okay. Because they asking, Quaquazy is asking if you black or not.
Tell Quazy I'm a red fucking panda, nigga. I ain't black, I ain't white, I ain't none of that shit. I'm a goddamn red panda, straight up.
Well, stop saying nigga then, you fucking pussy.
Bitch, shut your ass up. I'ma say nigga as much as the fuck I want. You don't tell me what the fuck to say. I've been talking like this the whole time. Now you want to get sensitive all of a sudden? Fuck out of here with that pussy shit. If you don't like how I talk, then stop bringing me on your live, homie.
All right. Trix asked, thoughts on David Benavidez?
David Benavidez, that's a real fucking problem right there, man. Dude is a beast. 6'2" at super middleweight with power in both hands.
He's not at super middleweight no more. He's a light heavyweight, but he just fought at cruiserweight not too long ago.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, you right. He ain't at 168 no more. This nigga Benavidez a whole different animal now. He's the WBC light heavyweight champ and just moved up to cruiserweight and knocked out Zurdo Ramirez in 6 rounds to grab the WBA and WBO belts. So he's sitting on titles at 175 and 200. 3-division champ, undefeated, and still only 29 years old. The nigga is a fucking nightmare. Size, power, volume, killer instinct, all of it. But like I was saying, he still ain't got that Canelo smoke he been begging for. And now he talking about fighting Bivol too. This motherfucker really trying to collect every belt in the world like Pokemon cards. What y'all think about him? Is Benavidez the best fighter in boxing right now? Or is he still missing that signature win?
Ghost said, who do you have? Xander Zayas or Jaron Ennis? Which one you picking, bro? And don't hold back no punches either, bitch. Get the fucking prediction right.
All right, let's get it then, Ghost. Real talk, I'm taking Xander Zayas. Jaron Ennis is nice, don't get me wrong. But the way he moves, the way he fights, his energy, that shit don't look right to me. He looks like he don't even want to be in there half the time. He got the talent, but he moved like a nigga who just there to collect a check. Xander Zayas, on the other hand, that young boy is a
Boots?
dog. Yeah, Boots. Jaron Boots Ennis. That's the question. Who you taking between Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas? I said I'm going with Xander Zayas. I think the young boy got more dog in him. Boots got all the talent in the world, but I don't trust his mentality. He looks bored in there sometimes, like he don't even want to be fighting. That shit concerns me. Xander Zayas is only 22, and he fights like he actually wants to kill niggas. So I'm not. Y'all can cook me if you want, but that's how I see it.
That boy Rudy don't know shit about boxing. God damn. I thought, yo, you had me at first. I ain't gonna lie. You do not know what the fuck you talking about, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. God damn.
I know, right? I get extra smooth and sharp when I'm faded as fuck.
No, I said, no. I said you don't know shit about boxing. That prediction was fucking horrible.
So you think I'm stupid for picking Xander Zayas over Boots, huh?
Yes, bitch. Yes, bitch.
The fuck is you yes bitching about? You just said my pick was horrible. Now you screaming yes bitch at me? Nigga, make up your mind. Either tell me why my pick is trash or shut the fuck up, you indecisive ass nigga. What's good?
Yeah, man. I think Rudy's Puerto Rican because he picking Xander Zayas. That's what I think. I think you Puerto Rican, man.
Puerto Rican? Nigga, I'm a fucking red panda, not Puerto Rican. I picked Xander Zayas because the little homie got dog in him, not because we related.
Boots got dog in him too, bro.
Nah, that nigga Boots got talent, but he don't got that killer in him like Zayas do.
What?
Like he on the clock. Like
Who got a bigger knockout percentage? Who got a higher knockout percentage?
Boots got the higher knockout percentage, nigga. That's not even a debate. But let me ask you this though: who the fuck they been fighting? Boots been fighting a bunch of cans and old heads to pad that record. Xander Zayas only 22, and he already fought better competition than Boots did at the same age. So yeah, Boots got more knockouts, but that shit is inflated as fuck. Percentage don't mean shit if the quality of opposition is trash. That's like bragging you got a high batting average in a little league.
He said he might be from Yo, yeah, he definitely programmed from them Twitter comments. Okay, so all right, this is what we gonna do, right? Because they were built up totally different. You feel what I'm saying? Xander Zayas was signed from Top Rank from the very beginning. Boots didn't have a promoter; he was just being managed by Cameron Duncan. So while Xander was being moved cautiously and carefully, you know what I mean, being put on big platforms by Top Rank, Jaron Ennis literally had to get that shit out of the mud and had to fight on local club shows and build his record up from there and ultimately get to the point where he actually became somebody in the IBF rankings. Xander, on the other hand, was built handpicked opponents, you know what I'm saying, and eventually was put in position where he became, you know, somebody in the WBO rankings without having to fight anybody significant. You feel what I'm saying? Like Jaron Ennis, he had to face another top contender in the IBF in order to get that interim title. You feel what I'm saying? Xander, you know, he was young. You know what I mean? He signed with Top Rank when he was 16 and shit like that. So they had two totally different come ups. So we can't really compare both of the ways that they came up and who they fought at whatever age.
You making a solid ass point. I ain't even gonna cap. You're right. They had two completely different builds. Xander got signed at 16 by Top Rank, so they've been protecting him, putting him on big cards, feeding him solid but not elite competition. Boots had to grind through the Philly circuit, local shows, fight his way up the IBF rankings the hard way. That's facts. But here's where I still got an issue with Boots. Even with that grind, when he finally got to the big stage and got titles, he still ain't looked like that killer to me. He got the power, he got the skills, but something about his energy just looks off to me. Like he doing it because he gotta, not because he loved breaking niggas. Xander might have had the easier path, but the little nigga actually looks like he enjoys the violence. That's the dog I'm talking about. So yeah, you cooked me on the come up part. That's fair. But I still think when they clash, Xander's going to show more heart. That's my read. What do you think about the fight itself? You got Boots winning easy?
No, I don't think it's going to be easy for neither guy. I think it's going to be very competitive just based off of the fact that Xander Zayas is going to, you know, have his fundamentals with him, bring his hands back, you know, head movement. You know what I mean? He's going to be giving a lot of mobility. He's going to be doing a lot of punching and turning. There's going to be some things for Jaron Ennis to figure out. However, I do think that Jaron Ennis, contrary to what you said, you said that, he doesn't really look like he wants to be in there half of the time and that he's not really focused and shit like that. I think that I don't really believe that. I don't subscribe to that notion. I feel like Jaron Ennis does have a killer mentality. I think he's one of the best finishers in the sport of boxing. And in the biggest fight of his career, he actually destroyed Amante Stanionis and unified the welterweight division prior to going to 154 pounds. So with that being said, I think that Jaron Ennis' speed, I think that his world-class jab, although he isn't consistent with it, I think he has one of the best jabs in the sport of boxing. I think that he has great counter-punching ability as well. And I do think that Xander has this tendency where although he is punching and turning, it's usually when he's on the back foot. It's going to be very interesting to see if Boots, takes the back foot and Xander comes forward. Is he still going to be, responsible with his with his pivoting, with his angles and stuff like that, because, Xander does seem to get a bit greedy when he's shooting certain combinations. And if Boots punches with him, I do think with his accuracy, he could break Xander up, possibly have Xander hurt like he did, and Xander has been hurt in the past against Slava Spalmer and shit like that. So it's definitely a possibility he could get hurt. And I think that Boots counterpunching, his pinpoint accuracy could be the reason why Xander gets broken up. Not only that, but Boots is a hell of a body puncher and is a very dynamic fighter on the inside. And Xander has this tendency where he likes to fight on the inside as well. So Xander is going to present some issues, but I do think that with Boots, inside fighting ability, his punch placement, his great counter punching, I think that he could present a lot of problems to Xander Zayas, and his speed in itself is going to be different for Xander Zayas as well. So I think Boots is one of the most well-rounded fighters in the sport of boxing. And I think he's extremely focused for this fight because this is a legacy-defining fight. And just like you said, he doesn't have any signature wins on his resume. This is his chance to get a signature win because although Xander is 22, 23 years old, he is a current unified champion in one of the most action-packed divisions in the sport of boxing. So I think with all of that put together, man, I think that he's going to be a bit too much for Xander Zayas. I think Xander Zayas is going to accumulate damage, and I think in the later rounds he's going to get the stoppage.
You just put on a whole fucking clinic. I ain't even gonna lie. You laid that shit out clean. You made some real good points, especially about Boots' jab, counterpunching, and body work. That Stanionis performance was nasty as fuck. I can't front on that. but I'm still riding with my original take. I still think Xander got more dog in him. I don't buy that Boots is some killer. I think when Xander starts moving, turning, and making it messy, Boots going to get frustrated. And once Boots gets frustrated, that's when he starts looking like he don't want to be there. I respect your breakdown, though. That was actually a solid-ass take, but I'm still picking Xander Zayas by decision. I think the young boy too slick and too hungry. You got Boots by stoppage. I got Xander by decision. We gonna see who was right.
Y'all heard him. Y'all heard him. That's his take. He got Xander Zayas by unanimous decision. Now, we got somebody by the name of Go787 Rudy that wants to know. He says, ask based on their resumes who has the higher ranked opponents overall in their careers. See what it digs up. So you got some research to do, Rudy. Let me hear it.
Yo, live! Tell Go787 to stop playing with me, man. Based strictly on resumes, Boots Ennis smokes Xander Zayas in opponent quality. No debate. Boots has beaten actual world champions and top contenders. Imantas Stanionis, Karen Chukagian twice, David Avanesian, Royman Villa. That's real ranked title level niggas. He unified belts at welterweight against legitimate competition. Xander, his best wins are against Patrick Teixeira, Abbas Barogas, Jorge Garcia Perez, and Slawa Spomer. Good gatekeepers and regional guys, but none of them were ever on the level of the killers Boots has faced. Xander got the protected top-ranked bill. Nice matchmaking, big stages, but the names ain't there yet. So yeah, if we're talking pure resume and ranked opponent's face, Boots clears that easily. Xander's still young as hell, though, only 23. But the question was about resumes, not potential. Boots got the better resume, period. Y'all agree, or y'all still riding with your boy?
Y'all heard him, man.
Yeah, they heard me, and I know a bunch of y'all ain't like that answer. But the facts is the facts. Boots got the better resume right now, point blank. Xander's still a baby in this game. He got time to build it up. But as of today, Boots clears him in opponent quality. That's just boxing facts. Don't shoot the messenger. Next question, let's keep it rolling.
I don't like how the way you be talking, though. I really smack the shit out you.
Nigga, you keep threatening to smack me every 20 minutes like it's gonna do something. You've been saying you gonna beat my ass, slap the shit out of me, all that tough shit for the last 2 hours. But every time you say it, you still here on the live asking me questions. So either swing or shut the fuck up, my nigga. All that tough talk getting real old.
Where you at right now? Where you at right now? Talking that gangster shit.
I'm in your phone, nigga. Right in your hand. You holding me right now while you're talking all that tough shit. So go ahead. Smack me. Do it. I'm right here.
Yeah, that's why you don't get no hoes, dog. That smart ass mouth you got, you ain't never gonna touch no bitches. You don't get no red fox pussy, nigga.
Nigga, you worried about me getting pussy now? You on a live stream arguing with a cartoon red panda about whether I get hoes or not? That's actually sad as fuck, bro. You really hurt, huh? Go touch some grass, my nigga. You doing entirely too much right now.
Yo, this shit is hilarious. I ain't gonna lie.
This shit is mad weird, bro. You really just spent the last 3 minutes talking about whether I get red fox pussy or not. Like, you actually got mad that I might be getting laid. The fuck is wrong with you, man? You good?
Anyways, Rudy, what do you think about Virgil Ortiz? This is gonna be the last question before we get up out of here. What you think about Virgil Ortiz?
Virgil Ortiz is a fucking beast, man. That nigga is scary. power in both hands, aggressive, good boxing IQ, and he actually looks like he enjoys hurting people, which is rare nowadays. But I'm gonna be real with you. I still got questions. He's 22-0, but he ain't fought nobody. His best wins are against Maurice Hooker, Serhii Bohachuk, and Frederick Lawson. That's it. And even those fights, he was getting hit more than people want to admit. The nigga chin might be questionable too. He got dropped by Bohachuk and was hurt against Hooker. So yeah, the talent is there, the power is crazy, but the resume is still thin as fuck. He needs to fight a real top guy soon. A Crawford, a Boots, a Spence, somebody with a name. Until he does that, he's just another big-hitting Mexican prospect with a padded record. That's my real take. He got the tools to be elite, but he got to prove it against real killers now.
Do you think Virgil Ortiz and Boots is a good fight, and who do you have winning?
That's actually a fucking banger of a fight. Real talk, I got Virgil Ortiz winning that shit, and I think he stops Boots late. Virgil is a pressure fighter with heavy hands in both hands, and he don't give a fuck. He walks through fire and keeps coming. Boots got the boxing skills and the jab, but when somebody pressures him and makes it ugly, he starts looking uncomfortable. We saw it against Stanionis. Virgil Ortiz is way more aggressive and has way bigger one-punch power than Stanionis. I think he backs Boots up, makes it a dogfight, and eventually breaks him down. Boots is going to have to box his ass off to win, and I just don't trust that he's got the mentality to do it for 12 hard rounds against somebody that's constantly walking him down. That's a great fight, though, no cap, but I'm picking Virgil by late stoppage. What you think?
I think you dead ass wrong. No, I think you don't really know Boots that well.
Here we go with this shit again. Every time I pick against your favorite fighter, it's you don't know him or you don't know boxing. All right then, Mr. Expert, tell me why I'm wrong. How is Boots beating Virgil Ortiz? Because last time I checked, Virgil is a come-forward Mexican with real power, and Boots folds the second somebody puts real pressure on his ass. So
how do you know?
Break it down.
How do you know he fold when somebody put pressure on him? How many times you seen him fold when somebody put pressure on him? How many times you seen that?
All right, let's be real. I've seen it against Stanionis. That nigga was.
He stopped Stanionis in like 6 rounds.
Ugly as fuck. If Stanionis had better power, that fight.
Bro, he stopped Stanionis in 6 rounds, bro.
Bro, Stanionis? That's who you bringing up right now? That nigga was a blown-up welterweight with no power.
They fought at welterweight, dumbass.
Exactly my point. Stanionis was moving up from 147 to 154.
No, they did not. They fought at 47, bro. You over here spitting bullshit. Where you getting this information from?
All right, you got me there. My bad. They fought at 147, welterweight. My bad on that. But it still proves my point even more. Stanionis is a big, strong 147-pounder, and he was able to back Boots up and make that fight uncomfortable. Now imagine Virgil Ortiz, who is a real 154-pounder built like a fucking truck with way more power.
Virgil came from 140 pounds, bro.
Nigga, Virgil Ortiz is 5'10", 160 pounds naturally. He's been fighting at 147 for years and has always been one of the biggest, strongest welterweights.
He ain't got all the information. He ain't got all the information. They don't know too much about boxing yet. He got to collect a little bit more data, but he has potential. Rudy has potential.
Oh, now I'm Rudy has potential? Nigga, you just spent the last 15 minutes arguing with me, calling me a dumbass, telling me I don't know shit about boxing, and now all of a sudden I got potential? Make up your fucking mind, bro. Either I'm trash or I got potential. You bipolar as fuck, man.
They calling you Rudy Kellerman. You definitely Rudy Kellerman. Because just like Max, you don't know shit about boxing.
Rudy Kellerman? Bitch, now I'm a whole new nigga? First I was Puerto Rican for picking Xander. Now I'm Rudy Kellerman? Y'all really just throwing out random Jewish names at me now. I went from being accused of getting red fox pussy to being called a white Jewish boxing analyst in the span of one life.
Max Kellerman is Jewish?
What's wrong with Yeah, Max Kellerman is Jewish, nigga. That's a known fact.
I did not know that.
Why the fuck? Yeah, well, now you do. Max Kellerman, Jewish. Stephen A. Smith always used to call his ass Max Kellerman, the Jewish guy, back in the day. But real shit, though. We really out here talking about Max Kellerman's ethnicity instead of boxing.
They calling this nigga Rudy McCoy.
Rudy McCoy? Now I'm a whole different white man? First I was Puerto Rican, then I was Rudy Kellerman. Now I'm Rudy McCoy? Y'all just throwing random white boy names at me like darts at this point. My name is Rudy, nigga. R-U-D-I. I'm a red fucking panda, not some random Jewish or Irish nigga y'all keep trying to make me.
Yo.
The disrespect is crazy tonight, man.
Oh, man, that's fucking hilarious. Rudy A. Smith.
That's it. I'm done. Now y'all just making up random white people names. Rudy A. Smith? Really? That's the best y'all could come up with? At this point, just call me Steve, Tyrone, or Becky at this point.
Oh,
y'all
shit.
just saying anything. I'm a red... You good over there, man?
You a fucking
been calling me
racist,
every-
dog. You fucking racist, man.
Bitch, how the fuck am I racist? I've been catching stray bullets from y'all for the last 20 minutes. Y'all called me Puerto Rican, Jewish, white, Rudy Kellerman, Rudy McCoy, Rudy A. Smith. And now the racist? Nigga, make it make sense. Y'all the ones trying to turn me into every ethnicity except what I actually am. If anybody racist in here, it's y'all trying to whitewash my red ass.
Rudy definitely a Peckerwood, for sure.
Now I'm a Peckerwood? Bitch, I'm a red panda with a gold chain and a 40 ounce. I talk more like a nigga than 90% of you motherfuckers in this live, and y'all still trying to make me a white boy? The mental gymnastics is actually insane tonight. Y'all really hurt.
All right, I don't want to talk to Rudy no more. He tripping. But anyways, that's how we're going to wrap up the live, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love as always. If y'all could go ahead and hit the like button on the way in, that'd be very much appreciated. We're on the road to 4K. We on the road to 4K. We went into the 3,500 mark, looking to crack that 3,600 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. I'll be back at y'all with another live to discuss our post-fight reactions to Keyshawn Davis versus Nair Albright, along with what's the other fight? That's how you know I'm tired. Brian Norman versus Josh Wagner. You feel what I'm saying? But until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.